Now, I've added fluid up to the 5-gallon mark. And also very important, you have to leave some headroom. Okay? When it starts foaming up, you have to let it burp. Okay? And now for magic, for the magic, for the magic. We're gonna add the yeast. So, pitching in the yeast, so you see how much and how careful this has to be done. Can you see it in there? There you go. It's got one little spot of yeast, and that's gonna do the entire batch. Yeah, it says you should use 1 packet to 5 gallons. I've probably done about 50 gallons with this one. This is Lalvin EC1118. This is, ooh, there it's dropping. Little yeasties dropping. Little yeasty particles. They're all dropping because they're soaking up the water. They each individually burped. I don't know. Anyway, the Lalvin, this is for sparkling wines or champagne. It's a very active yeast, and I've not had it fail yet. And I've done some bonehead mistakes, and it still hasn't failed, so good yeast. Unpaid promotional right there. So, what we have in there is apple juice for the nutrient, honey for the sugar, and there is also some apple juice sugar, but mostly it's going to be honey. And we're going to make honey apple wine. Yeah, ha ha ha. Okay, I'm gonna bung that up. Yeah, that's the back end of a turkey baster. All you need to do is keep the buggies out and keep positive pressure on the inside. It seems to work just fine. It's like a very loose-fitting cork. By the way, you'll notice that I haven't tapped in the corks for this batch yet. There's a good reason. I'm going to give them at least a week before I tap those corks in. Because what winds up happening is, if you get just a little bit of extra fermentation, it will off-gas, and the pressure will build up, and it will, well, I'd much rather it launched a cork than blew the bottle. Okay? When you're not careful about fermentation time and residual sugars and doing it with the fancy tools that they have nowadays, you just do it this way. That way you don't have to be careful. It takes care of itself. Now in a week or two, I will press those corks in, or I will add new corks. Now there's a procedure for adding corks. And it should do me good for till the end of the year, at least. All right, you all out there have a wonderful time. And final look at it. You can see that dark level at the bottom, and sitting on the dark level, man, I hope that comes up on the video, is the yeast itself. It's sunk to that level, and it's just sitting there. When that yeast wakes up in that little pelletized form they make it in, it is gonna be screaming happy. Just hope it doesn't all wake up at the same time, causing bubbles, because that blow the cork off and sugar water everywhere, and that's no fun to clean up. Been there, done that. All right. You know, every single little yeast particle has dropped, and since there is no current in there, it all dropped into the same pile at the bottom. How cool is that? Fluid dynamics and science. And alcohol. Have a wonderful day.